Good evening. It's Wednesday, April 16th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Calling the Lakeville Board of Health meeting to order. Is there anyone in the audience recording this? I see no one. LakeCAM is recording this and will be available for viewing at a later date. First on the agenda, because of the vote last week, reorganization of board health members. So we have to vote for the chairman, second member, and third member. I'm the chairman. I think you were the third and you were the second, I believe, previously.
Maybe next year I'll do it. I don't think I want to do it this year.
So we'll start with the chairman. Okay. So
I was going to say, because I did it, I was last and you were two before that. Because it's been like a while since you've been chair.
Yeah. I'll do it next year if that's all right.
Next year?
Yeah.
He's
So when
on
you
for
two
3.
can pick.
You're up for re-election next
I'm
year.
up for
And I
re-election
got
next year.
2 more years on. What's between us?
How you feel about it?
I'll stay chairman if you
That's
want.
fine.
And then if you want
Thanks,
to
I
do
did
it,
it.
that's fine by me.
It'll work out because it was like 2 in a row, right?
Yeah, that'd be mine. Because you were on it before me. I think I took over last year.
Yeah, I think we both did it 2 years in a row. I think too.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's fine with me.
All right, so we want to make that.
Then I'll make a motion that we make Derek Maxim the chairman of the Board of Health for the following year.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstain, correct? I don't vote for
Yeah, you
myself.
can't vote for yourself.
Okay. Second member? So I'm not on that. Between you two, you want to?
I'll make a motion Chris Pratt remains the second member of the Board of Health for the next year.
Second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I abstained.
Okay. Third member is,
Make a motion till we make Bob Palucci the third member of the Board of Health.
second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. We reorganize the board. We don't need to move anything. First on the agenda. Oh, that was first, sorry. Second on the agenda, 8 Laurel Street. Meet with Foresight Engineering to discuss local upgrade request. We were notified by Foresight Engineering. They would want to be available to be here tonight, but would like us to discuss it and make a vote because they did not want to continue it. So I guess we just add Ed to give me the update on it. I believe everything is set up.
What's that?
I believe everything is turned in and
Yep, everything's there. The only error which the engineer is aware of is the house is labeled as a 3-bedroom, and it's actually a 2. The assessors has it as 2, and the last several Title V's have it as a 2-bedroom as well. And even I think the homeowner agreed that it was a 2. So there's no dispute about it. It just was a clerical error.
And because of the lot size, even though the field's big enough, they can't increase it. Right?
Well, the previous design was 3-bedroom. I think that's why he designed was 3-bedroom, and he just assumed the house was 3-bedroom, but he never actually went in the house. And then when we,
But I'm saying because the lot's under 10,000 square feet, we can't give them the other one anyway. So,
Yeah.
so it gotta stay at 2.
and they're asking for a variance to the well, so they don't meet all the time. And they don't meet nitrogen loading, even though they're doing it tonight.
Okay.
But the previous plan didn't come to the board back in 95, I believe it was.
yeah.
Because the well was proposed at the time, and they drilled it about 15 feet in the wrong spot, because
Yeah.
it was outside the 100.
So it's only 85 now.
So it triggered a variance on this one.
What was the existing system?
It was a field pretty much in the same location.
3-bedroom?
I have it here
2?
if you'd like to look at it.
It was a
but-
3-bedroom design, but it did say 2-bedroom existing on the plan. We pulled it out of the file. We have the folder.
We had no as-built for that last one.
The one before that must have been a cesspool, because there's
Just
no,
saying, but like, oh, so it wasn't repaired since the cesspool?
yes.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it was a system put in 95.
Okay.
That's a field in the same location, but the original one probably was a cesspool.
But, so that last system was a 3-bedroom also? That's just, I'm trying to clarify.
Yeah. Yes.
The one in 95
Was a
was
three.
designed
Was
as
a
a
three.
three,
Designed
even
as
though
a
it was a
three.
2-bedroom house.
Okay.
There was no meeting minutes, as he didn't come to a board, and we're not sure why.
Yeah.
Manny just signed off on it.
Yeah. And like I said, there was no waivers because the well was proposed outside the 100, so.
But now it's not.
And then the only thing I saw on this one, obviously they have a well. The Clark Shores water is one street over, I believe.
Yeah.
I know in the past, on everyone that's come before us that we've approved with a variance to the well, we've had a request that they must tie into Clark Shores water once a water service is stepped onto their property.
Within 1 year of it being
Within
available,
a
right?
year.
Yeah.
And I talked to the engineer, Foresight on this, and, he was aware of that and said that was agreeable to him, because that's what we've been doing, all of them.
Yeah, I'm guessing the well's not a deep one.
No, it actually is. It's 225 feet.
That's a good, but we have a water test on it already?
We do. The nitrates were 4.3, which is not great, but they are under 5, and hopefully with a fast, it'll drop it down some. It's at it's actually the back side of the hill, so it's pretty much the top of the hill, but it actually is going away from the pond at that point, because the hill comes up and then like, the last 2 streets, it actually starts to go, slope in the other direction. So you're not getting, the other ones at the bottom of the hill are the worst contaminated because you're getting all that coming down, you know.
And this is sloping back down towards Highland Street, on the back side of it.
But the fact that it's, 20 feet from the peak, there's not a lot of septic flowing in that direction. I think they're all flowing towards the pond. So I think that might be why it's kind of low. I mean, not that 4.3 is low, but in this area, it's.
Okay, and we had no butters notified. He's just asking for a variance to his own well.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone to speak on this one? And the owner was not coming, so the owner is not here either. I didn't see any other.
So it's just a variance for the well, and they understand we're gonna put a 2-bedroom deed restriction, and we're going to require them to tie into the water within 1 year.
Do you want them to revise the plan, or should I just cross out the 3 and put a 2? Or do you want them to do a new plan? That's it.
I think I prefer the revised.
Revised, so it's not crossed out, it's actually.
I'll make the motion subject to them giving you a new plan showing a 2-bedroom.
Okay.
Having that note made, if that's all right with everyone.
I know the lot next door is vacant. I mean, we could have moved it. Right, this is,
The lot's vacant next door?
we could have moved the field a little bit, right? To maybe get a little bit more distance, but, I mean, then you're affecting.
They could ask for
right?
variance to the property line 5 more feet, correct?
Yeah.
You
I see what you're
probably
saying.
could have got
With the
9.
advanced treatment, I think we're splitting hairs probably at that point.
Yeah, but I think you'd still have the waiver. Instead of 85 feet, it might be 90 feet,
90,
but you're
yeah.
still asking for it.
You guys good?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we approve the well variance for 8 Laurel Street to 85 feet for the well. We're gonna add a 2-bedroom deed restriction, and we're gonna require them to tie into the Clark Shores water within 1 year of it becoming available. And the vote is subject to them giving Ed a new plan. That's it.
Showing a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, showing it's a 2-bedroom, with that change.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next on the agenda, Schools Out Ice Cream LLC, 9 Dunham Pond Road, Lakeville, Mass. And is a new mobile food ice cream truck. It says pending inspections. And they're selling prepackaged ice cream. I see no one here on this one, so I'll just turn over to Ed for the update on.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just the prepackaged stuff, but we do have to inspect it just to make sure all the freezers are working properly and things like that.
Is it like a regular ice cream truck, or is it like a food truck too?
It's like a school bus.
Okay.
That's why they call it Schools Out, They do parties and things like that, so, they do plan to do several in Lakeville, I think. So it's not a one-time thing. They plan to get it for the year, but they don't know how many they're gonna be doing. But it doesn't, I don't think they drive around the neighborhood with a bell.
Yeah.
They just go to like someone's house or something. and-
Someone that's hired them to show up.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
What's that?
Someone that's hired them to actually show up to their
Right.
house for a party.
And they may do, events too. Like I think they may do the Conway Farm and
Well, I
I
mean,
think
you could-
Elliott Farms
They
has.
could drive down the street, but kids don't go outside and play anymore, so they wouldn't get anybody. Now, would they be able to pull up like at John Pond to someplace and on the road and sell ice cream during a softball game, or do they need the town's permission?
Yeah, if they're in the parking lot, they need the parks, permission to do that.
On any town property.
Yeah, any town property.
Okay.
Well, yeah, parks definitely need parks permission. I guess if it's another town property, I don't know.
Like
who-
Ted Williams, that's Parks.
Yeah, yeah, I think most of the public places are parks, so, yeah, we need them. Well, I mean, you could do it here if the police let you do it.
Yeah, I'm thinking it'd be a good opportunity at the kids softball fields and
Yeah.
stuff to have somebody go over there.
Yeah, they may reach out to parks, I
Cause
don't know.
back in the day, like real ice cream trucks used to come in there. So,
Do they still have a concession stand at Ted Williams? They have one over there?
No, they have one at Clear Pond.
Clear Pond, and then they have the one
They're
at the
not
ball
operating that
field.
one anymore?
No, I don't think so. But we don't inspect them.
There's a snack shack out there.
Oh, really?
In the middle
Oh,
of
yeah.
the baseball fields. Been there
Yeah.
for
Okay,
a
yeah.
while.
Yeah, we don't, they never contacted us about anything.
I don't know if.
I don't know if they're
open.
operating or not.
Right,
I don't
but
know how
it's out
often.
there,
It
right?
depends what they're doing. If they're just selling like Coca-Colas and stuff, they don't need our permission. But if they're like cooking hot dogs or something, then they would need our permission. Like in Clear Pond, they cook hot dogs and things like that, so we actually have to inspect them. But like I said, if it's all prepackaged and if it's all shelf stable, like although you put a Coke in a fridge, it's stable on its own, so we do not have to inspect those, so they could do that there.
and like chips and popcorn and all
Yeah,
that kind of
all that
stuff, they
stuff.
can do that?
Yep.
Okay. You guys good?
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we approve the food establishment license for Schools Out Ice Cream LLC,
And
Second.
inspect-
pending inspection.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're gonna have a discussion regarding our schedule of fees. The legal ad for the public hearing will be advertised April 17th, April 24th, and May 1st. I believe these are posted on our website now currently, Ed?
Yeah, they're on the website and you can come into the office as well and we can give you a sheet either way.
Okay, so we posted that and put it on tonight's agenda to see if anyone from the town showed up for any input on us raising those 3 specific fees. I don't see anyone here to put input. If we had anything, anybody notified the office?
No, not yet.
that we're changing the fees?
Nope.
Therefore or against?
We're just getting those 3 in line with what everybody else is. We're not doing nothing crazy.
Right. So we keep this posted for 3 weeks and then we have to post a public hearing?
Yeah, tomorrow they'll be posting the public hearing in the
When,
newspaper.
what day would we be having the public hearing?
May 7th.
Okay, that was what I was gonna bring up on that one. I don't believe I will be here on May 7th, so I don't know if we want a full thing or it's fine.
Have you already
Just
posted it?
I mean, I think we're all
I'm
agreement
fine
on
with
it.
Yeah, you don't have to be here.
But I'm just bringing up, I don't think I'll be back in time to get here for 6 o'clock.
Chris is a second member of this, so it's gonna be a long night.
And we'll have, is this, that before our meeting, so that'll be scheduled, we have to open that public hearing, have it,
Close it
close
and
it,
then open our
and then
regular
make the
meeting.
vote,
Yeah,
so that'll all be set up.
Yeah.
So you're both fine with?
Yeah.
I've done one before, so
Huh?
I have done one before. So
There you
it's,
go.
That's you with Jim.
it's
we
just
can spell it out on sheets and
reading
stuff.
out the sheet.
Okay. All right, and we don't have another meeting before that, correct? So,
No, yeah, we actually have 3 weeks between now and the next one, so,
right, but not another meeting,
no.
so it's 3 weeks, okay.
Do we need to do anything on this, or was this just for public comment tonight?
Yeah, in case anyone wanted to come in, but you've already determined the prices, so, in case wanted to contest it, or, and they could still contest it at the next, the public hearing meeting as well.
So even the night, on April, May 7th, if someone would like to come in,
Yep.
because we
They can-
still
they can
have a
still give
discussion at the
comments,
public before we close it for the vote. Okay.
And we could change it that night if we found a reason that we had to, yeah.
Right, okay. And again, that we're only changing 3, of our fees. The perk test fee, it was previously $150, for new and repair. Now we are leaving it at $150 for a repair and $300 for new. Because on a repair, you normally only take 1 or 2 holes and pour water in 1 hole, and I believe Ed said on the new, we do 4 holes and you have to pour water on 2.
Yeah.
So it's twice the work. I mean, and that is consistent with, just about all other towns. Tobacco permits, we were at $30, we're going to $75. That's a yearly fee, correct, Ed? Once a
Yes.
year. It's increasing by $45. And the camps, were the biggest jump, because, we were only previously charging $10 for the fee for a camp. And I believe Ed said there's quite a bit of work involved with permitting these camps and inspecting them.
And they're not just local residential ones anymore. They're out of town, like
Yeah.
privately run camps.
And so that is going to $150 from $10. And again, that is consistent. Freetown is at $150, Carver's at $150, Rainham is at $150. So it's consistent with other towns. And that was the only 3 changes to our fee schedule. So we don't need a vote or anything? If anybody'd like to come to the May 7th meeting?
Do you have any comment?
No comment. Okay. Next on the agenda, review and approve meeting minutes as typed from January 15th, 2025. All 3 members were present. I read through it and have no issues with the way it was written or typed.
I'm good too.
Did you say you're good? I'll make a motion, we approve the meeting minutes from January 15th, 2025 as typed.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I'm looking to the next thing already, I'm sorry.
Okay, next, discuss memo received by the planning, board regarding quarterly interdepartmental meetings. I think everybody has this one. They were looking to maybe meet, quarterly for.
No, they're gonna meet next week, is the first one.
Yeah, that was on the 24th, and they said, should I read the whole letter? Can anybody?
I don't think you
It
need
was
to.
sent to all department heads originally. Just a matter of, I guess, do we want to?
So we're just invited
Participate.
to send a representative to attend if we would like. Or you can do a quorum, or,
I mean, I just think this should be under the selectmen. If they want to call all the boards together, that should be under the selectmen's purview, not any one individual board to decide to take this type of thing on, but that's my opinion.
I mean, I like the idea of it, you know, because there's so many times when we're like, what'd they say? What, you know, there's different things that come in before it and stuff. Although sometimes it could be tough though too, because if there's something that's going before one board, we can't go jumping in ahead of it
If
coming
it
to
hasn't
us.
come to us yet.
Right, which we learned with Highland Terrace, right?
Yeah.
right, and I mean, normally when you have an agenda and you post things, prior to the meeting, you're supposed to post what you're talking about. So if anybody would like to come and hear what we were talking about, I mean, this just seems like it's gonna be a random open discussion. They did give some examples, sharing information, Topic areas could include SHI inventory, chapter 61 property outreach, Lakeville Country Club feasibility, Route 105 Bridge Street intersection, current plan action items, to name a few.
But I mean, you have to have an agenda. Like our meetings, we just say we could talk about all these things. I just think that we used to have the ZBRAC committee that I was on for years, and they had a representative of every department. And that got a lot of stuff done. We had every department, and we had, somebody from at large, it was called, that was Bob Mather, the attorney, who wrote a lot of the Middleborough zone and stuff. And then we'd all meet, we'd come up with ideas, we'd bring it back to the boards, get our input and go back. Everything was televised, and it went to town meeting for the peoples to vote on, but it was all under the selectmen. The selectman was the chair, the selectmen set the meetings. I just think if, it'd be like us calling all the boards together. I just don't see where that's in our authority. I think it should be the selectmen if they want to start doing this type of thing. But I'm just one vote.
Okay. I think on just how vague it is, I think I'm kind of in the same opinion. I think if they wanted to discuss a specific one of those items and asked for the board to show up at a meeting, like, we
Right.
need your input because it involves the Board of Health, I'm all for showing up and sitting, like we had a couple of meetings on Rocky Wood, they asked us to be there. Or when we were trying to do the open space development and put our input, but I don't know what the random, and I don't
The
want.
one-offs are definitely helpful. And you guys already have, department heads have, weekly meetings, correct? Ed?
Yeah, they do. I don't attend them. I'm not a
Okay,
department
it
head.
was just, because it's just Nate, right?
But Nate represents us.
Yeah, I know. I guess, I get what the idea is, but I don't know if, it is quarterly, so it wouldn't be like all the time, so maybe this time, but yeah, I don't know, I don't understand the legality of it and how it's supposed to be set up. That would be a question for, town council or somebody, right? But,
And again, if all three of us don't go, you're just sending one member, which you can't really speak or discuss for the other two, so it's.
no,
it-
we kind of need to know the agenda ahead of time, so
you
then we
need
could
to
talk about it at a
discuss.
meeting and then bring the
You should be
ideas
writing
there.
what you're talking
Or
about.
it's there to find out some ideas and then bring them back to the board.
And you're really just asking one person's ideas from the board, which isn't really what you should be doing. I guess maybe I understand they want to get along with the other boards and see what's going on in town, but.
We do comment on other things, like if it goes to the ZBA or planning board, they do
Right.
give us a chance to comment
Right.
on it, like say, okay, this doesn't meet this requirement, or you would have to do this. So we do comment on those plans that go before both planning and zoning. So they do send us probably 2 to 3 weeks in advance, we get something. And if it's really concerning, I can bring it to you guys, if it's a-
And I see benefit like certain projects, like a representative being there ahead of time, like if you're trying to shape something like the OSRD or whatever, like the earlier you can like start talking about stuff, the better, right? So then it can get out to the boards and talk about stuff after, but yeah, without a specific thing and whether we can set it up that way, that would be my question, just to.
And I think,
Council.
if we did entertain doing something, I would recommend, I think all board members should be there. I don't think you can get anywhere with just one board member. I think you need to go and have all three. It's the only way you can discuss and talk. And that's just, without a specific.
I'll make a motion, we send the planning board a letter saying that at this time, the Board of Health will not be participating, but we are open and welcome to any information they ask or, they request from us. And, would honestly prefer that this is under the selectmen's purview instead of any individual boards.
I would just add to that, just ask the questions of town council and like how,
Yeah,
to make sure it's set up properly, so we're covered. I mean, so everyone's covered, you know what I mean?
So moved, I'll add that to my motion.
And I'll second the motion.
Any discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So if I understand this one, they're not gonna do open space anymore, so we can start taking it off the agenda.
Right, next on the agenda is discussion regarding proposed open space bylaw. Again, this has been continued for probably 2 months now. We've had meetings on this, but we finally did get the letter sent to us after the last meeting.
They're not gonna go forward with their,
Right, so this one, I will just read the letter, just, I don't know if everybody had sent it to the planning board, and it reads regarding Rocky Wood, which is Simmons Hill Comprehensive Permit. I'm writing as the attorney of Simmons Hill LLC and Mohammed Atani in regard to their proposed 40B project located off of Freetown Street in Lakeville. My client would like to thank you and the planning board for your sincere efforts to consider an open space residential bylaw specifically for the Freetown site as an alternative to the 40B development. Unfortunately, there were some significant roadblocks in the proposals that were made by various boards and members of the public that have shown us that it does not appear to be feasible to proceed any further with any potential zoning change proposals. Most notably, it is the requirement that the proposed bylaw would require a conceptual comprehensive permit plan to establish that the number of lots would not exceed the quantity allowed through a conventional subdivision plan, and the requirement that at least one successful percolation test be performed on every lot. I believe my client made it clear from the beginning that this was not a requirement that would be acceptable. As such, we have informed the Zoning Board of Appeals that we will be continuing with the existing comprehensive permit 40B application and have asked to be scheduled at its meeting in May. Once again, we thank the board for its efforts, and my client remains open to any suggestions that you may have to improve this project. And that was from attorney Bob Mather. So that takes it off of our agenda. They're not going forward.
just so anyone watching, that's how every other town in the state that does open space does it. You get what you can prove, and I thought we bent over backwards saying one perk a lot instead of requiring 4. So, but it's the regular density, not, you know, not a 40B density, so. I wish they would continue with the real open space bylaw for around the whole town, not just for that one property, because I think it would get the town a ton of land for free and protect a lot of open space, but the way that was drafted, I don't think it was gonna pass through town meeting anyway.
Any comment on that, Chris?
No, it's all been said. I mean,
Yeah, so anybody watching that is still concerned about the Rocky Woods project going forward with 40B, I guess just look on the agenda for the ZBA, Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm sure it will be posted ahead of time when they are discussing that project. And again, I believe that project pretty much will not be coming to this board anyway, because the septic is over 10,000 gallons and will be going to DEP. And they will have a public well that was
or
proposed.
we don't even know what the water's gonna be.
Water,
anyway.
but
We don't even know,
That was the other thing,
because
too.
I've heard they might run the water up
Right.
into that, and then if they did that, then they could put, you know, multiple septics under 10,000 gallons in, so. But again, that was just a pretty picture. We have no idea
Yeah.
what is really being considered there.
That was the other thing with all these proposals they brought. They was
Yeah,
We'll wait till see what is proposed.
incomplete.
If
yeah.
it comes to the Board of Health, where we can make any. Okay, so that will be removed from the agenda. No longer, so we have no vote on that needed. Number 8, discuss recent Board of Health agent pending items. Ed, I'll turn it over to you, and then announcements under 9. Do you add any announcements or pending items?
Yeah, just, well, last week we had the the rabies clinic. It was pretty successful, over 115 dogs and cats vaccinated. It was a lousy day, but a lot of people came out, so that was good.
Nice.
And tomorrow at 1 PM at the COA, Plymouth County Mosquito is doing a presentation on both on ticks and mosquitoes. So it's, anyone's, can go, it doesn't have to be elderly, even though it's at the COA.
Are you gonna go to that? Are they gonna bring the plan for what they're gonna do in the town too?
I think it's more just on prevention and having water in your backyard, they're trying to inform residents about it, but they also they're already doing a lot. I've seen them several times, just, both testing, they test for the larvae in a lot of the ponds, and things like that. And they did a lot of clearing this winter as well to get, the stagnant ponds moving so that it prevents the thing. So they've been pretty active, already. So, they may, I don't know their full agenda, but, I think it's a,
Well, I know in the past a few times, specifically was invited, the board, if they wanted to come, and they talked about what they, the big overall picture, what they were trying to do. So I didn't know if this was that type of meeting, or just for the homeowners.
I don't actually know, but.
I'm sure there's more tick stuff too with the other diseases picking up pace too. And the different kinds of ticks that are moving into the area too, that carry diseases besides just the deer ticks.
Yeah, that's a big concern.
Okay, one other thing, I'd like to bring up, the state had sent out another list on the ADUs, an updated proposed ADU units. It's something maybe we'd put on the agenda.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
To discuss. Again, I won't be at the next meeting of May 7th, where we have the public hearing, so I don't know if we wanna.
You wanna wait till
No,
the-
you wanna wait till the.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till you come back. That's important. We all should be here.
Okay.
If we all didn't agree on the fees, I would have pushed that off too, but I think we all agree.
Yeah, it gives us a chance to read through it too, so we can have comments and talk about it in a formal agenda item.
Yeah.
So you wanna do we need to make a motion to put it on the agenda, or you just put it on the
No,
14th?
I just put it on.
May 14th agenda, discuss the ADUs, just from the state guidance from DEP and watershed management. That's all I have.
Got it? Chris,
I'm good.
motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.